Hello everybody, today back again on another video. Oh boy, we had 128 players in the draw when this Wimbledon started 2 weeks ago. Now we have only 2 left men standing. And who are these 2 left men standing? It is the 23rd Grand Slam title Novak Djokovic. It is the now 35th Grand Slam finalist Novak Djokovic. It is the most complete tennis player of all time, Novak Djokovic. It is the current world number 2, Novak Djokovic. It is the second seed in this year's Wimbledon 2023, Novak Djokovic versus the new, upcoming, hot, superstar, super talented, also very complete to be this young, the most complete 20 years old tennis player I have ever seen in my entire life. The world number 1, the number 1 seed at Wimbledon 2023, Carlos Alcaraz. And before I preview this Wimbledon final that we have on Sunday, let's talk a little about Carlos Alcaraz semi-final match against Daniel Medvedev, whom he just steamrolled 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. Some believed that Medvedev will win. Of course, not me. I believe Carlos will win in 4 sets. I thought Medvedev would at least take 1 set, but he didn't do even that. Carlos Alcaraz just demolished him 6-3, 6-3, 6-3 in 3 straight sets. Carlos' victory over Medvedev, according to me, was more convincingly than Novak's victory over Sinner, because Novak, after all, had 2 set points against him in the 3rd set. So Novak almost lost 1 set. Carlos Alcaraz, he never was close in losing 1 set against Medvedev. Carlos Alcaraz just steamrolled Medvedev with powerful tennis, with unbelievable great drop shots. Medvedev, he didn't learn his lesson from Indian Wells earlier this year, where Carlos Alcaraz also killed Medvedev with a lot of drop shots in that Indian Wells final earlier this year. Medvedev didn't learn his lesson. He played very far back from the baseline. He played very passive. He was very passive, and Carlos Alcaraz completely exposed Medvedev with his playing 2-3 meters behind the baseline tennis style. Medvedev, you cannot play against Carlos Alcaraz that defensive. If you do that, he will kill you, exactly like he did with a lot of drop shots and powerful tennis. Carlos Alcaraz really impressed me against Medvedev, and Medvedev was not playing his best tennis, but it was also due to Carlos Alcaraz, who didn't let Medvedev play his best tennis. If you look at the stats in the match, Carlos Alcaraz did 4 aces. He's not an ace monster, Carlos Alcaraz. 3 double fault. He lands a lot of first serve in, 71% first serve in, which is a high number of landing first serve in. Won 73% of the points behind his first serve. Won 57% of the points behind his second serve. Broke Medvedev's serve 6 times out of 14 break point opportunities that he had, and was really great at the net as well. Carlos Alcaraz, he has great hands at the net. He attacked the net 35 times and was successful 27 of those net approaches. 27 times of those net approaches. So he lost only 8 times of his 35 times that he approached the net. He lost only 8 times at the net, Carlos Alcaraz. So great net success for Carlos Alcaraz against Medvedev. Did 27 wins and only 17 unforced. So Carlos does 10 more wins than unforced and won in the entire match, all points counted, 91 points. If you look at Medvedev's stats, he did 5 aces, 4 double fault. I knew that coming into this match, Medvedev will not do 28 aces, like the case was against Eubanks. I at least thought he would do double-digit aces, but he didn't do even that. But I knew that he will never do 28 aces like he did against Eubanks, because Carlos Alcaraz is so much better returner than Eubanks is. Anyway, Medvedev did 5 aces, 4 double faults. He lands 59% first serve in. That is too little landing first serve in. He needs to be landing more first serve in to have a chance against a great returner like Carlos Alcaraz. He won 71% behind his first serve. I'm sorry, 70% behind his first serve, which is a pretty decent number. Winning points behind his first serve was not that big of a difference. Carlos won 73, Medvedev won 70%. The huge difference was here, winning points behind the second serve. Medvedev won only 30% of the points behind the second serve. Carlos Alcaraz was killing Medvedev's second serve, to say the least. And Medvedev broke Carlos' serve 2 times out of 4 breakpoint opportunities. And those 2 times that Medvedev broke was only in the 3rd set. He didn't break Carlos' serve in the 1st set or 2nd set. And all in all, he did 19 unforced errors and 24 winners. So he does 5 more winners than unforced errors. And all in all, in the entire match, Medvedev won 68 points. So Carlos Alcaraz wins 23 more points than Daniel Medvedev. Also, one other indicator that Carlos was much more superior over Medvedev than what Djokovic was over Sinner, because Djokovic won only 10 more points than Sinner the entire match, compared with Carlos, who won 23 more points than Medvedev the entire match. Alright, enough about that. Let's go into this preview about the Wimbledon final that we have on Sunday between Novak Djokovic versus Carlos Alcaraz. A Wimbledon final that many of us predicted will happen, and now we have had that. A Wimbledon final that is not big of a surprise. You know, guys, I did a video before Wimbledon started 1 month ago. I said that who is Novak Djokovic's biggest threat at Wimbledon 2023? And I said that Carlos Alcaraz is Novak's biggest threat at Wimbledon 2023. And we have the proof of that now. Carlos Alcaraz is in that Wimbledon final and will try to win his first ever Wimbledon title. Carlos Alcaraz, who, by the way, will become the 4th youngest Wimbledon finalist. Man, if you think about it, Djokovic played his first ever Wimbledon final when he was 24 years old. Federer played his first ever Wimbledon final when he was 21 years old. Nadal played his first ever Wimbledon final when he was 20 years old. So Carlos Alcaraz has played a Wimbledon final as young as Rafa Nadal did 17 years ago, when Nadal played his first ever Wimbledon final as 20 years old in 2006 and lost to Roger Federer in 4 sets. Man, this match has a lot of stake on the line here. Djokovic is going for his 8th Wimbledon title. To equal Roger Federer, for his 24th Grand Slam title, to equal Margaret Court, to be the biggest Grand Slam record holder, man or female. Alright, let's talk about Carlos Alcaraz. What is the keys for Carlos Alcaraz to win this final? For Carlos Alcaraz, and another big stake on the line here is the player who wins the final on Sunday this is a shootout match for the world #1 ranking. The world #1 ranking is on the line here. The player who wins the match the player who wins the final on Sunday will be the world #1 on Monday. The keys for Carlos to win this match: he needs to serve big, like he did against Medvedev. He needs to land a lot of first serves in. He needs to do it because he's facing the greatest serve returner of all time, Novak Djokovic, according to me. So he needs to be over 65% landing first serves in, which he did a great job against Medvedev. He landed 71% first serve in against Daniel Medvedev. So if he can manage that kind of serve numbers against Djokovic, well, that will be a huge advantage for Carlos to win the match. Another key for Carlos is he needs to do a big damage on the serve plus game, because he's not a serve monster, like I said earlier in the video. So he needs to do damage on the 3rd, 5th, and 7th shot, the so-called diamond shots of tennis. Which he has done superior good the entire tournament, and he needs to do that on Sunday as well. His serve plus game needs to be on top. Another key for Carlos is he needs to manage his nerves. His nerve management will be on test on Sunday. We saw what happened 1 month ago at French Open semi-final. After 2 sets, Carlos Alcaraz collapsed mentally. He was too nervous and cramped. And another key for Carlos is, of course, he needs to take his chances. Jannik Sinner didn't do that in the semi-final. Jannik had 6 break point opportunities. He didn't take any of them. Carlos Alcaraz, he needs to take his break point opportunities because I believe that he will get break point opportunities. I truly believe that. I forgot to say that the head-to-head between these two is 1-1. They faced each other 2 times. Both of those 2 times has been on clay. So there are the keys for Carlos to victory. For Djokovic, he needs to serve also big, because Carlos is a great returner. He's one of the best returners on tour, Carlos Alcaraz. So Djokovic needs to land more first serve than he did against Sinner, where he landed only 58% first serve against Sinner. Djokovic needs to be over 60% landing first serves. Another thing, Djokovic also needs to do great serve plus game, where he needs to take advantage. He needs to challenge Carlos Alcaraz in the serve plus game, because Carlos is really good in doing damage in the serve plus game, with his forehand especially. And Djokovic needs to do the same. He needs to challenge Carlos Alcaraz in the serve plus game battle, in the 3rd, 5th, and 7th shot. Another key for Djokovic is he needs to dictate. He cannot let Carlos Alcaraz dictate, like Medvedev did in the semi-final. Medvedev let Carlos Alcaraz dictate the match. If you let Carlos Alcaraz dictate the match, it's like doing suicide by tennis fans all around the world. So Djokovic needs to play close to the baseline and take charge, and he needs to bust around Carlos Alcaraz and not vice versa. That is the key, also key for Djokovic. Another key for Djokovic is him also needs to manage his nerve. He's a great mentally player, Djokovic. So, but he's playing a big match here. It's a lot of on the line here for Novak Djokovic. He's going for big history here, my tennis fans all around the world. So Novak's nerves also will be on test here on Sunday. He's after all human being, my tennis fans all around the world. All right. With all this said, who do I believe will win the final on Sunday? Look, my tennis fans all around the world, I have picked Novak Djokovic to win this Wimbledon 2023, and I will not change my mind now. I believe that the serve-return dynamic, the serve-return battle will decide who will win the final on Sunday, and I think that the serve-return battle, Djokovic will win that battle, because I believe Djokovic has a better serve than Carlos Alcaraz. I just believe so. Yes, Carlos Alcaraz wins a lot of points behind his first serve, but Djokovic has the better spot serving. He also wins a lot of points behind his first serve, Novak Djokovic, so I think Djokovic will be the better server. And in the return game, even though Carlos Alcaraz is a great returner, I still have Novak Djokovic as the better returner than Carlos Alcaraz. So, are the reasons of that, I believe that Djokovic will win the serve-return battle, and that's the reason why I, in the end, believe Novak Djokovic will win the final on Sunday in 4 sets and will win his 24th Grand Slam title. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, see you next time. Peace!